I'm going to show you in this video how to make this edging for a fleece blanket. It's pretty simple to do. You just get a piece of fleece fabric that you like, and then we're going to crochet a border onto it. Yeah, it's easy to do. It's pretty simple, and yeah, I'm going to show you how to do that. The border I've made is pretty ruffled. If you don't want yours ruffled, I do show you how to make it so it's not quite so ruffled. I wanted mine ruffled purposefully, so because I like that style. But yeah, if you don't want to, I'll show you how to do it that is not so ruffled. But yeah, it's pretty easy, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. So alright, so to do this project, you can see it close up as to what the border looks like. Very simple little border. It's not hard. You make little holes in your fabric. Now, I showed you how to do it by just cutting them, measuring the distance and cutting a little hole in there. But you do get one of those rolling things, which I have, but I didn't think most of you would have one. But you get one of those. I'll show you what you get. You get these little rotary cutters, and this one I don't have the blade on, but you get the blade that is specially for blankets, and it'll make holes, and it'll make a hole and then not make a hole, so you would just run it across here. But I didn't think most of you would have one of those, so I showed you how to cut it. But this is the nicest and quickest way. You just zip all the way across, whereas with ours you have to measure your distance and then cut a little hole. So that's a little tedious, but if you want to make this, that's what you have to do. Any fleece fabric will do, and that's what it looks like. I'm using the Red Heart crochet yarn, and this is a size 4 if I'm correct. Yeah, it's a size 4, and they say that you should use a size 6 crochet hook, but I wanted mine to be fairly tight. I didn't want it to be too loose, so I used a size 5.5 millimeter or an I crochet hook, and it makes this pretty firm. Now obviously when you wash it, this will loosen up, so don't worry about it feeling like it's very hard. It's a little hard now, but once you wash it, it does loosen up a bit and get softer. But yeah, so that's really all that I'm using. It is this and this crochet hook, and depending on the size of your blanket will depend how much yarn you actually use. And yeah, I'm sorry, and you need your fabric. Mine, I think mine is close to 2 yards. It depends on the width of yours, but get the size fabric you want for yourself, how big you want your blanket to be. And then I will show you how to do this. So let's get started. Alright, so the very first thing you want to do is to get yourself a nice piece of fleece, whatever size you want your blanket to be. You know, it's going to be your blanket, so you choose the size. And then what you're going to do is we're going to cut a nice even border all the way around, just to get these edges off, so that I can cut this straight here and these sides. So you can go all the way around your blanket, and you're just going to cut all your sides evenly. You'll want to use a yardstick and cut it evenly from there. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Cut it nicely so you've got the edges the way you want it, and then I'm going to show you how to do the border. Alright, so what you want to do now is we're going to be cutting little holes. You want to get yourself a nice sharp scissors, and we're going to cut 3/4 from the top and 3/4 from each other. Now you can do it where you just take your ruler and you measure 3/4. I'm using a pen, you can use a marker, and then 3/4 ways, and just keep doing it that way. But what I did was I just took a piece of paper, and make sure you know which is the way you're working, and you're going to measure, make sure you've got 3/4 from the top. I made a mark there, and then this whole one is 3/4, so there. Okay, so now it's 3/4 from the top and 3/4 wide. So what I'm going to do is, for my very first one, I'm just going to put it over there like that, and I know that my next one is going to be right over here, so I'll just make a dot there. I'll put this over here and I'll make a dot right over there, and you just keep doing that. This is just going to be a lot easier. Now if you're not perfectly straight, you're going to see that, like mine's not too straight, you're going to see, okay, my dots are in a different place. So you're going to have to work with that. I can see this one went down. Either you want to come down a little more, okay, the rest is a bit straight, or you're just going to have to keep going like there, let it be higher up and go according to your dot, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm probably going to just do that where it is uneven, just let it go above the top. You can see it's above the top, but then this line is going to stay straight. So that's what you're going to have to see. Otherwise you're going to have to be really perfect with your edging. But yeah, one of them has to be straight, either this or the top part, but you've got to be pretty consistent. Otherwise you just bring it down a little bit, you know. It's going to be up to you. I'm rather going to let my top be wrong and just put my dots in here. And that you're going to do all the way around. When you get to your corner, this one should be at the same place. Just go from here, go from that one there to your dots. See, now these are a little higher, so just work with it. It's not an exact science. It doesn't matter if it's not absolutely perfect. But that's how you're going to do it. So just get those in. Okay, when you come to the corner, my previous corner worked out well, but this one hasn't. You can see here, this is where this one ends over there, and I can't fit in another one. So you can see on this side, that one is a little bit too high. I'm going to play with yours. Okay, I'm going to bring this one down just a touch. So I'm a little bit short there, and I'm going to bring it over here. Just a little bit. Just bringing it down a little bit there, and then I'm going to keep all of this side slightly up. It's going to be a little bit off here, but the rest of it's fine. So I'm not going to bother about that. As I say, it's not an exact science. I'm just a little short on this side. And I'm going to just keep going like that. So I'm just dropping mine a touch, and I'll work with this one slightly lower. It's not going to make too much of a difference. So you can go ahead and keep doing yours. I'm just showing you these little things as we go along. So then what you're going to do, once you've done that, is you're going to cut little holes. So you're really going to I'm just going to fold mine over like this, and exactly where that hole is, just make a very small little snip. Be sure you got a sharp scissors. Okay, that wasn't a big enough. Just snip it on that part there, and just so you got a bit of a hole there, because your crochet hook has to fit through. So as long as your crochet hook can fit through, your hole is fine. You don't need to make this huge gigantic hole, just enough to get your hook through. And yeah, you're going to do it all the way around, so you can go ahead and do that. Make sure you've got your little hole separated, and then you're going to cut them all the way around. So you can go ahead and do that. This is a tedious part, but it's well worth it. So go ahead and do that. Now once you've done that, you're going to come back, and we're going to put one in the middle here. You want to just come in between. You don't need to use anything else. That's why we did it this way. But you're just going to come in between these two and make another little hole, because we're going to be using all of those. And I'm just making small holes. So you just want to do another one in between the two that you had made there. I'm just going to come more or less in between and make another one. And you can do that all the way around, or you can start your work and then keep doing it as you go along. It's up to you. But I want to show you how we're going to start our work. You're going to make a slip knot, and you can start, I'm going to start here, not in the corner one. I'm going to start over here in this very first one. Now this is going to fold over, and that's what you want. So in that first one, you're just going to bring up and make a single crochet. Okay, then you're going to chain one, and you're going to go into your next hole with a single and a chain one. Next one, single and chain one. single and chain 1. So I say you can make these middle ones as you go around if you want to. And I didn't make big holes, so don't be careful that you don't make big holes. Some of mine are slightly bigger, but I tried to make them smaller. And that's all you're going to do, chain 1 and a single crochet in each hole. And you should look like this. And then that's the back. It folds over in the back like that. Okay, and it should be good now. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to, as I go, I'm just going to make this middle one here. Be careful now that you don't cut the back because it's folding over, so be careful not to cut that. You just want to cut in between these two, just with a small little hole. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and once you've come to the very first corner, so go all across the side till you get to your first corner, I'll meet you then. I'll show you how we do the corner. Alright, so to do your corner, now you've come here, this is the end of this one and it's the beginning of this one. You're going to come in there like you did your chain 1, do a single crochet in here. Now when you come to your corner, you do 1 single there, you don't do a chain. Just bend these over so that you can catch it. You're going to put 4 singles in here without a chain 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 in the very same spot, but don't put chain 1s there. And then chain 1 and come into your next one. So only this spot you're not going to put a chain 1, and that's should have caught your fabric underneath it nicely as well. So you can go ahead and do that. As I say, we're just putting 4 singles in there without any chains in between. You do a chain here and a chain here. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and finish mine. And you can finish your whole border until you get to the front part again. So I'm going to go ahead and do mine and I'll meet you back at the beginning. Once you've done your last corner, just do your chain, slip stitch into that very first stitch that we had done. And we will pull all this tighter. You just slip stitch in there. Okay, now we're going to start with round 2. Alright, I just wanted to show you when you're doing these corners, I just found the edge. I don't know if I showed you enough. Just let your corners roll as you go. The aim is that you want to tuck these pieces in the best that you can to catch them underneath here. So the best you can do is just let it roll. As you're going, just let them roll. And then this one we had 4 in, so 1, and then kind of turn your work so that you're catching it on different places. You're not just catching it all here. See, now I'm turning and letting this just fold as I'm turning it. It's a little bit of a knack to it, but I don't think you'll have too much of a problem. Just let it turn as you go, and now you can keep going there. And you can see I've more or less got it in. If you need to grab something and make sure that this is underneath there nicely, so that you've caught it. See, and then they tuck in pretty well. As I say, there is a little bit of a knack to it, so just practice it. Find a technique that works for you, that it actually catches it all under there. And yeah, so that's really how you do the corner. I just wanted to show you that because I don't think I showed it to you too well. Yeah, so let's keep going. Alright, so somehow my footage got lost on how to begin your round 2. So I'm just going to show you with this little piece over here. You had slip stitched into that beginning stitch, alright. Now you'll see that you have 2 stitches here. You had your single crochet and a chain 1, a single and a chain 1. So in each one of these spaces here, you're going to do a single crochet. So the very first one, you're going to do a single, and then right next to it you'll see there's another stitch, do a single. So you're doing 2 single crochets in between each of these. Okay, and then you're going to do, so you can see there's the one and there's another. It's separated by that. So just do 1 in here, just a single, and 1 in there. So you can ultimately see that you're doing 2 in between each of your original single crochets. So that's what you're going to do. You're just going to keep doing that. Then I do show you where you do the corner. you're not doing any chain ones in between this. It's just single crochets. So 2 in each. I'm kind of saying 2 in each space.
Sorry,
So you're basically doing 2 in each space between here. 2 there, 2 there, 2 there. In your corners, you're going to do 1 on each, so you have 4. But I'll show you how to do that. So I just wanted to be sure to show you this part. So yeah, that's what. Okay, so first corner, all you're going to do is 1 single crochet in each one of these. So you want 4 single crochets over your corner. So just go ahead and do that. 1, 2. You might have to put 2, 3, and 4. You'll have to put another one into that end one to make it 4. And then you've got 2 over here that you still got to do. So just as long as you have 4 single crochets over your corner there, you'll be alright. So as long as you have your 4 over there, you'll be okay. So you can go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back. Now once you've gone all the way around and you've done all your single crochets, you're just going to slip stitch into this very first stitch over here that you have made, and you'll just slip stitch into that one. Alright, now we're going to do our next round. Alright, once you have slip stitched in your, once you've slip stitched, you're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to skip 1 stitch, and you're going to go into the next one. Then you're going to chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. So, and that was a double crochet there. So it's chain 4, skip 1, 1 double, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double, and this is what we're going to do all the way around. Chain 1, skip 1, 1 double, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double. So I'm going to go ahead and do this till I get to the first corner, and then I will show you what we're going to do. So it's just chain 1, skip 1, and 1 double in the next. And you should be looking like this. Okay, so you can go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so when you get to your first corner, what you're going to be doing is you're going to still skip 1, but your middle 3 out of this lot are going to be done next to each other. You're doing a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, but they don't have a skipped one in between. So these 3 are going to be done together. Let me show you. So when you get more or less to the middle 3, you can do it. So you skip this one, you did your chain 1, go into this one with a double crochet, chain 1, don't skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, don't skip, double crochet, chain 1, and then you can skip 1 again and come here. So it's just those middle ones that will be done like that without a skipping anywhere. So yeah, then you can do the rest of your blanket, and just remember each corner, those top 3 ones don't get skipped single crochet. You just do doubles in those 3. So anyway, I'll go ahead and I'll go all the way around, and I'll meet you back here. Alright, so once you've got your 3 next to each other there, just do a chain 1, and I'm going to slip into this top stitch over here. Okay, then I'm going to just do a single crochet into that first chain space. I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to do a picot. So I'm going to go into these 2, and I'm going to do a single in the same space, and I'll show you that again. So go into your next space with a single, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, then either come into this first chain, or I grab these 2 over here and a single crochet in there, and then a single in the same. Okay, so you're looking like that. So it's a single crochet, picot, single in the same, single in there, picot, single in there, single in there, picot, single in there. So single in here, 1, 2, 3, single crochet your picot, and a single in the same. Okay, single in here, 1, 2, 3, picot with a single and a single in the same, and that's what it's going to give you. Now I've purposely made mine so that it's a little bit fuller here. I want it to be a little bit lacy. I didn't want mine to be flat. If you don't want yours kind of frilly like it is, when you do this round, just skip 2, or every second one skip 2 instead of 1 double crochets, and you'll bring it in more, you'll bring your work flatter. But I didn't want mine flat, so if you don't like it the way it is, as I say, you can do less. I think it might be too much if you do if you skip 2 every time with one of these. You'll have to play with it, but this is the way I'm doing it. So if you don't like it like that, you'll have to try and eliminate somewhere. Or this round you just do less single crochets. Maybe every second one you do 2 and then 1 in here. You'll have to play with it, but this is the way I'm doing it. So once again, single crochet in there, picot, 3 chains with a single to the bottom there, and a single in the same. And that's all that we're going to do. As I did with the previous ones, when I get to the end of this round, I'll show you how we do the corners. But otherwise, you can go ahead and just keep doing that all the way around. So I'll meet you back now at the end of this row, and then we'll do the corner together. Alright, now mine is pretty, I don't want to say frilly, it's kind of bunchy like this, which is what I want. If you don't want yours to be like that, instead of doing, I'm doing single, picot, single. Instead of doing that, if you don't want it to be this lacy, if I should say, do 1 single, do your picot, whoops, and then you can just do a single in the next. Now there's 2 ways. You can do a single here and then do the single with a picot in here, and then a single with a picot. Or you can do the single with a picot, single with a picot. And that's how you can quit it from being quite so drastic. That's what it would look like. It's not going to be quite as bunchy as mine is. 1, 2, 3. So it's up to you which variety you want to choose from. See, it's not going to be quite as much. Doesn't look quite the same, but it's still fine. And if you did it, that's if you do them right next to each other. If you want to just do a single in here and then the picot in this one, do a single, 1, 2, 3, the picot here, and then you just do a single in this one, and then a single in here with a picot. So it's really up to you which you prefer. And then, like I say, a single in here, and the next one's a single with a picot, and that will keep it more flat. This one will bunch a little bit. My one bunches the most. This one will just bunch a little bit, and this one shouldn't bunch at all. So you got 3 choices here, and it's up to you as to which one you're doing. I just like this one the best, but you can go ahead and do whichever one you want. You might have to practice a little bit first to see which one is working better for you. But yeah, so I'm going to go to this first corner, and I'll meet you back there and show you how to do the corner. Alright, so for the corner, I'm just going to go ahead and do one of these in each of these, like I'm doing. I'm not skipping anything or doing anything different. I'm just going to do this. Now, if you've done one of the other ways that I showed you to, you'll just have to improvise and see how to do yours. Example, if you skipped some, if you just did a single and then a picot, just keep with your pattern. So the bottom line is you can just keep doing your pattern all the way around and it will work out fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my blanket, and I will meet you back at the front. This is the last round, so once you've gone all the way around, you can just slip stitch to the top of your stitch and your blanket will be done.